Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be doing some questions and answers, where you guys have the opportunity to ask me questions, and I do the best I can to give you guys good answers. Now remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. You guys can ask me anything, except for how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. We all know it's 5. So with that said, you can ask me a question by commenting on my page, commenting on the video, or sending me a personal message. So with that said, before we actually get into the videos themselves, there's two things I want to talk about. First of all is, this is the last day of summer that I'm recording this. So I'm going back to school, starting a new semester at college. So where I may not be able to put up as many videos as I have been during the summer, I'm still going to put up at least 4 videos a week, hopefully. I actually recorded around 20 videos, and I have them all saved up in here, so I'll be putting those up. It's more or less I just need to get used to my new school schedule. I can't really determine how things are going to go until maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks of school. That's really when I start to get a feel of things, so videos will be up, just not like every day like I usually do. Second thing is, before I promised that I would kind of branch out and experience new superheroes, and while that's still going to be the case, such as The Flash, Hawkman, Aquaman, so on and so forth, rather than get them all at once, I'm just going to buy them. I'm going to focus on one hero at a time. For example, one week, during the summer I used to do, 1 week I would buy Hawkman, other week I would buy Green Lantern, next week I would buy Flash. I'm still going to focus on those characters, but I'm going to do them all at once. For example, right now I'm going to read and finish up my Teen Titans stuff, and after that I'm going to focus on the Outsiders, after that I'm going to focus on Flash, and then Hawkman, but I'm going to just try to finish them off, because I don't know why, but I can't do it like that. But, yes, and then lastly, no, that is it, lastly. Ooh, sorry. Something is in my eye. Fuck me. Okay, with that said, let's get into the questions themselves. First question. Do you buy 2 of each figures and keep 1 in package? No, I do not. There are 2 reasons for that. First of all is money. I don't have any. Especially on the rarer figures, I can't be spending money for like 2 of each figure. Second reason is storage. I have nowhere to put them whatsoever. I have my room and that's it. I haven't moved out yet. Okay. Second question. How do you organize your Batman books in your bookshelf? Chronological order in which they take place. Not actual publishing order, but like what order the stories take place in the timeline. With the exception of the Chronicles and the the Showcase Presents, those go in their own little separate category. I'll show you at some point, sometime, when I show you my room again. Do you have Batman Arkham... Hey, are you getting Batman Arkham Asylum the game? Like I said, I am, but not for a bit of time due to money reasons, and I'd rather get other games first. A lot of people are saying, well, it's the best superhero game out there. Well, that may be true, but that's not saying much. Most of the time, superhero games suck. Although I've heard good things about them from reviews, I'm still going to wait because money. Next. But I do want to get it, I really do. Next, hey, do you play any miniature war games? Not anymore. I used to play Warhammer 40K. I played as Black Templar, Space Marines, but way too expensive of a hobby. Way too expensive. I still have all my figures. It's just way too expensive. But that's the only one I've played, unless you count D&D, but that's not a war game. That's a role-playing game. So yeah, that's the only one. My friend wants me to play Risk with him, but I never played it before. Next question. Here's a question. Have you seen the original Buffy movie from 1992? Yes. In the series was... I don't know what the second question asked. But I've seen bits and pieces of it. It wasn't that great of a movie. The show is fantastic. The movie, here's a question. What's your favorite non-RPG video game? Thanks. My favorite non-RPG video game, that's really easy. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, my favorite video game of all time. So there you go. There's the answer. What do you recommend out of these two? What do you recommend out of these two? No Man's Land series or War Game series? And Under the Hood Volume 1/2. Are you talking about War Game series with Under the Hood or separate? If you're talking about No Man's Land and then War Games plus Under the Hood, that's tough because War Games was just okay. Under the Hood was really good. No Man's Land on a whole was good. It depends on how much money you want to push out. They're about the same if you buy. Under that situation, I'd probably go with No Man's Land. If it was No Man's Land, War Games, or Under the Hood, I would say get Under the Hood. But if you had to pick between No Man's Land and Under the Hood plus War Games, I would go with No Man's Land. Even though Under the Hood was a great series, War Games is something that you should pick up on the side. Next, what are the hardest figures to find in DC Classics Wave 5? That would be the Eradicator. Very expensive figure. Andrew, what is your favorite Teen Titans volume written by Geoff Johns? Mine is Volume 4, The Future Is Now. As of now, I've only read up till Volume 6 or 7. So as of now, it's either going to be a kid's game or Titans Around the World. I'm not sure. I don't like to make judgments before I read everything, but it's going to be one of those two. Johns did Titans Around the World, didn't he? I don't know, but I like Kids Game a lot. That was a great story. And Titans Around the World was really fun. What graphic novels about DC Universe, such as Crisis of Infinite Earth, should I get as a Batman reader? As a Batman reader, which DC Universe story should you get? That's tough. Because really, when DC makes a story that encompasses the whole DC universe, very rarely do they ever play favorites. So the only times is probably, like Blackest Night is, although it's a DC universe story, it focuses around the Green Lantern. But when it comes down to Batman, I would say OMAC Project is a pretty Batman-oriented book. Final Crisis, well, kind of. And the Infinite Crisis is pretty Batman-oriented. I mean, he plays a pretty good role in it. So, OMAC Project, Infinite Crisis, and Final Crisis. See, Batman doesn't play that much of a role in well, actually, he doesn't show up that much in Final Crisis, but he plays a big role. So, it's really tough because DC-oriented stories usually balance it out. Anyways, with that said, moving on. How do you feel about Geoff Johns writing Superman's Secret Origin? I don't know if he's writing a comic book because DC is losing some of the rights to Superman's origin or what. But I'm looking forward to it, and I would like to know your opinion on the matter. Secret Origins, Geoff Johns. I'm a little torn between this because I didn't like Birthright, but I love the Man of Steel series. Geoff Johns is a good writer. He's actually a very good writer. He's in my top 5 favorites. And he fixes the problems that's in DC a lot of the times. I'm a little hesitant because I'd rather they just kept it with Man of Steel. Why tamper with something that's already good? But Birthright kind of fucked things up. I know a lot of people like Birthright, but I didn't. So, really, when it comes down to it, if Secret Origin adds to Man of Steel and doesn't destroy it, then I'll be okay with it. On the whole, I feel as though the series will be good because I'm confident in Geoff Johns, but I'd rather they just have kept with Man of Steel because that's my favorite Superman series. The Man of Steel series, volumes 1 through 6, great Superman stories. Absolutely amazing. Whoa, and suddenly that just went away. Okay, next question. Let's say you're writing Batman. Just for the question, pretend Batman is alive. Okay, so pretending Bruce Wayne is alive, which he is. He's just trapped in the Omega Sanction. Okay, let's say you're writing Batman, and you're writing a big, epic Batman story, and the editor tells you to kill off a major character at the end of the story. It can be anyone from the DC Universe. This death would change Batman's life forever. Who would you kill? Good question. If I was writing a Batman story and I had to kill off a Batman character, or a DC character in general, that would affect Batman's life, I actually thought about this for a bit, and I would actually have to go, and as much as I would not want to do this, I would say Commissioner Gordon. And he's a great character. Commissioner Gordon's one of my favorites, but really he's not doing anything much at all. He's just being Commissioner Gordon. I mean, ever since he came back to the job, he hasn't really done much, but I think his death would really affect Bruce Wayne a lot, because outside of the superhero community, Gordon's the closest thing that Batman has to a friend, so I would kill off Gordon. I wouldn't want to because I love Gordon so much, but I probably would kill off Gordon. Hey Andrew, thanks for answering my question. Which comic is more rare to find? Batman: A Lonely Place of Dying or Batman: Prey? They're about equal. Although A Lonely Place of Dying actually went down in price a little bit online. It's down to like $20 to $30. In general, they're about equal, but I'd say right about now, Prey is probably a little bit rarer. Next question. Do you hate it when your figures are loose? You mean in the joints? Yes. I'm actually one of the few people that prefers tighter joints. I hate loose figures. I really do. Next question. Andrew, I've seen almost all your Batman-related reviews, and I'm a big fan. Most of your reviews have inspired me to do a lot of... Okay, let's get to the question. I was just wondering, how do you keep your books safe? Because as much as I enjoy reading them, I would love to keep them safe for years to come. So, I know that you're a busy guy, so reply whenever you can. Okay, so the question is, how do you keep your comic books safe? Or how do I keep my comic books safe? I just do plastic coverings. You can buy them at any Newberry Comics or any store, at all comic store, and I just put them on my shelf. The plastic covering keeps out bugs, dust, water, moisture, anything that really would be harmful to the books, and it keeps them preserved for a long time. I mean, it works. It really does. So I cover up all my books and all my comics because I want to keep them for a long time. I don't spend money on these so I can read them and have them get destroyed. No, I spend money on them so I can keep them. So yes, if you want to, I would get plastic coverings. Thank you for the question. Sorry I skipped through your question, but I just went right to it. Just wondering, what story what story introduces Jason Todd as Robin? Also, what stories have Dick Grayson fighting along Batman's side as Robin? Ooh. Jason Todd got introduced during the 80s. They never actually made a story arc where Jason Todd gets introduced, especially seeing that his origin gets retconned and changed after the Crisis of Infinite Earth. So there is no story that introduces Jason Todd as Robin. However, the first story, paperback-wise, that has him as Robin is 10 Nights of the Beast. As for Dick Grayson being Robin, oh god. Are we talking modern continuity or overall? If we're talking overall, well, Batman Chronicles series, Archive series, the greatest stories of Batman ever told, Robin Year One, Showcase Presents Batman has Dick Grayson as Robin. But if we're talking about just modern continuity, Robin Year One, Dark Victory, oh god, I gotta think. Tales of the Demon, and that's about it. Unless you count the Teen Titans stuff, then in the new Teen Titans he was Robin, but he didn't fight along Batman's side. He does cross over into the Outsiders at one point, and fights Titans and Outsiders working together, but yeah, there you go. Moving on. At least that's all I can think about off the top of my head. I would actually have to look. Moving on. Hey Andrew, love your reviews. First, let me say, I love Sinestro Corp's review, and if you like Green Lantern, I highly recommend Green Lantern Corps series. I actually think it's better than Green Lantern series. I want to pick up the Corps series. I've read it here and there, enough to know what needs to be known, but I do want to pick it up at some point. My question is, do you collect Buffy and Angel trades? I never collect the issues of comics myself, but I noticed that that the only issues you review are Buffy and Angel. I'd love to see a complete trade story arc review of those stories. Yes, I do have Buffy and Angel trades, and I have actually reviewed a few of them. I have Buffy, Tales of the Slayer, and Vampires. I have Frey, all of which I think I reviewed. At least I know I reviewed Frey. I have Buffy, the first two Buffy trades, Long Way Home and No Future for You. And I have the first Angel After the Fall trade, but I don't think I'm going to be picking up any more because they're mad expensive, and I already have all the issues, so it's not really worth it. But yes, Buffy and Angel are the only things I'd buy the individual issues for. Hey, Andrew, how long have you been collecting DC Universe figures? Since they started. Yeah, since Wave 1. I've been collecting some of the DC superhero figures beforehand, but for DC Universe Classics since Wave 1, so since the beginning. What's the best modern-age Batman figure to get as a good one? As the good ones are hard to find. So a figure from Batman's, a modern-age Batman figure that isn't hard to find, I would go with History of the DC Universe's Batman. That's a great Batman figure. And if you can find the DC Universe Classics Batman, it's a pretty good figure too. I'm gonna just look at my figures on a whole. That's not hard to find. If you go online, Hush figure isn't that hard to find, but I'd probably go with History of the DC Universe. That's a great figure. Nice review. Okay, you didn't answer my question. How long have you been collecting DC Universe Classic figures? Oh, I just answered it. Since the beginning. So is Green Lantern's First Flight based off Emerald Dawn or Secret Origin? I haven't read either. I haven't read Secret Origin. I've only read Emerald Dawn. So I don't know about Secret Origin, but from what I see, it doesn't seem to be based on either or. It seems to have its own individual story that just has traits from Green Lantern stories. So I would say it's its own standalone story. It's like the Wonder Woman movie. It's an origin story. It has a few elements from George Perez's run on Wonder Woman, but really it's its own standalone story. It has actually more elements from Amazon Attacks than anything. Okay, moving on. Last two questions. I have been into Titans for a long time, and I'm recently catching up on what I consider the best and most serious arc, Terra Trigon. Is he stronger in the comics because he seems semi-weak in the anime? And can you buy the and where can you buy the comic Terra Trigon? Okay, the first part of the question is Trigon more powerful in the comics than in the TV show? Yes. Trigon is one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. It takes like a miracle to defeat him. I mean, he basically takes over the whole entire fucking world, so there you go. He is substantially weaker in the cartoons. Where can you buy Terra Trigon? You can buy it at any comic book store, I would think. It's a pretty common comic. New Way Comics might have it. Barnes & Noble, well, no, Barnes & Noble probably would. I don't know. Barnes & Noble doesn't have really only the newer stuff, but any comic book store should have it. Last question. In your opinion, what's your opinion as Megan Fox as Catwoman in the next Batman movie? No. I don't think so. Megan Fox doesn't have the look nor the acting skills to be Catwoman. Actually, Kate Beckinsale from, I think that's her name, Kate Beckinsale from Underworld movies and Van Helsing, she would make a good Catwoman. Megan Fox, I don't think so, because I haven't really seen Megan Fox act good, and in addition to that, I mean, she doesn't really have the look, and she's very young, too. What is she, 23? Yeah, so, I mean, she's young also, that bothers me, but, I don't see her being a good Catwoman. I think that's just rumors, too, so those are all the questions. If I missed your question or forgot it or anything, just ask it again, and I'll try to put it on here. I don't always get every question. I'm sorry if I missed yours. My bad. So with that said, again, school schedule starting, so give me like 2 weeks to kind of get used to that, and yeah, and the comic book stuff. So with that said, I'm going to end this video here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.